with the truth that truly sets us free, with the light that leads the blind to see. Voice of the word, voice for the good, voice of the whole, voice you and me, voice of the word,
VWTV, ang telebisyon nga may misyon.
Voice of the word,
So, maupay nga agahat na tanan. The 75th regular session is now called to order. Okay, let us put ourselves in the presence of our Lord. Kadilanan kita. Then followed by our national anthem.
Dear God, thank you for the opportunity to meet together. Please help us to come together to make this institution reflect your kingdom. Breathe life into our ideas and decisions. Help us build a team that has love and respect at its heart. Give us the strength to continue working for your kingdom in this time of pandemic. Lord, come give us the inspiration to be the best we can be. May we be a shining example of your goodness and truth within, wherever we are. Inspire our thoughts, discussions, and ideas, and continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth for the greater glory of you. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
So the Honorable Lyra Limbauan, kindly lead the Consular Street.
Yeah, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. The councilors read, I am a Philippine councilor.
I am a Philippine
I'm a Philippine councilor.
Mandated by law to enact measures and ordinances
Mandated by law
to enact measures and ordinances
that redound to the general welfare of my constituents
to the general welfare of my constituents
in their pursuits for happiness, peace, and prosperity.
in their
in their
pursuit
pursuit for happiness, peace, and prosperity.
I believe in public service above self
I believe in
Public service above self
as a guiding principle of my official act.
as the guiding principle of my official acts.
And as I tread the pathways of local legislations,
As I prepare the pathways of local legislation,
may the Almighty guide my mind and heart,
may the Almighty guide my mind and heart.
that I shall be true to my constituents and the Filipino people.
I shall be true to my constituents and the Filipino people.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Limbauan. You may now sit down. So next item, Mr. Secretary.
Okay, I'll now call the roll. Honorable Vice Mayor Manuel Tichonhongo.
Present.
Honorable Maria Cindy Daza.
Present.
Honorable Dr. Katrina Anacta.
Present.
Honorable Rajel Limbauan.
Present.
Honorable Attorney Kathlyn Cainday.
Present. Present.
Yes. Okay. Honorable GLAIZA Jichu.
Present.
Honorable Renato Sibagakay.
Present at Tohia.
Honorable Attorney Byron Suyot.
Present to
Present naman.
Honorable Kurt T.
Present.
Honorable Glenn Escoto.
Present.
Honorable Renerio Biador Sr. Honorable Melanio Anacta.
Present. Present.
Present.
1,
Engineer
2,
Melcho
3,
Arago.
4, 5,
Present.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Mr. Presiding Officer, 11 SP members are present. This consists of quorum. You may proceed with your session.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Secretary. As attested by our Secretary, that there are 11 members present. This constitutes a quorum. So the chair hereby declares that we have a quorum. Next item, please, Mr. Secretary.
We now move on to the approval of the order of business.
Floor.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I would like to move for the inclusion in our agenda for today. Under review of barangay budget, the barangay budget of Barangay Sorok and Barangay Sonco.
Any second?
Second.
Any objections? None. So the motion is approved. Any more amendments?
Honorable Presiding Officer, I would like to move for the inclusion an amendment of Ordinance Number 6 entitled an Ordinance Utilizing the Unobligated Balance amounting to 3.2 million for the purchase of kayak and other accessories, jet ski, trailer, and improvement of the kayak Riverside Resort.
Any second?
Seconded.
Objections? None. So motion is approved. Any more amendments? Floor leader.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move for the approval of our order of business as amended.
Second naman.
Any objections? None. So our order of business for today is hereby approved as amended. Next item, Mr. Secretary.
Reading and consideration of the minutes of the regular session held last March 3, 2021.
Okay, so the minutes was emailed to you just this week. So any more corrections?
None.
The minutes from March 3, 2021. All right. No corrections? No. Okay, so Madam Floor Leader.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move for the approval of the minutes of our regular session held last March 3, 2021.
Any second?
Sure.
Any objections? None. So the minutes of the regular session held on March 3, 2021 is hereby approved. So next item, Mr. Secretary.
We now move on to the calendar of business under new business. We have the amendment of Ordinance Number 6, the unobligated balance for the purchase of kayak.
Okay, Madam Floor Leader.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move that we take up the matter for a second reading, since this is only, this does not include the amendment of the amount of unobligated balance, but just the details of the actual units that we are purchasing.
Okay, so the chair would just like to clarify kung ano ang ginamend ng previous ordinance.
Well, for second reading, Honorable Presiding Officer, I will for our suggestions, I will read the amendments during second reading.
Okay. Sige. So, any objections? None? Sige. So, we include this in our second reading. So, continue, Honorable Cainday.
Next item.
We
Honorable
now
Presiding
move
Officer.
on.
Next item, Mr. Secretary.
Okay, we now move on to review of the following ordinances. Number 1, Barangay Budget Fiscal Year 2021 o Barangay Libuton. Barangay Budget Fiscal Year 2021 o Barangay A. Barangay Budget Fiscal Year 2021 o Barangay San Jose. Local Youth Development Plan for 2021 and Barangay Budget of Sorok and Barangay Budget of Sonco for review.
Madam Floor Leader.
Point of order, Honorable Presiding Officer. I would just like to ask our Secretary to exclude from the review the local youth development plans. This is a different ordinance. So let's take it up after this review of barangay budgets.
Okay, please take note, Mr. Secretary.
Noted.
Okay. So, Madam Floor Leader.
Noted.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move that we refer the matter to the Committee on Finance chaired by yours truly for further discussions. I would like to again reiterate that we are unable to hold committee meetings since our priority as of the moment is the approval of our 2021 annual budget.
Okay, noted. Any second?
Seconded.
Any objections? None. So refer to the Committee on Finance. So next item, Mr. Secretary.
We now move on to the review of Local Youth Development Plan for 2021.
The Madam Floor Leader.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move that we refer the matter to the Committee on Youth chaired by our SK Federated President, Ms. Lani Anacta.
In second. Any objection?
Seconded.
And so we refer this to the Committee on Youth Development.
We have a committee report, Mr. Presiding Officer, the Committee on Personnel Administration regarding an ordinance for the proposed positions for the year 2021 as recommended by the OIC CHRMO.
Okay, so the Honorable Anacta, you have the floor.
Good morning, Honorable Presiding Officer, and to the rest of the Sangguniang Panlungsod member. Allow me to share my screen for my committee report.
Okay, continue.
The Committee on Personnel Administration and Appointments conducted 3 committee meetings via Zoom on February 16, 23, and 26, 2021. The names of the attendees are stated in the full minutes of the hearings. The hearings have been conducted in accordance with the request of the City Mayor for the creation of the items, which was originally included in the proposed 2021 annual budget, but upon resolution by the Sangguniang was submitted separately and has been heard by this committee. Submission of the proposal. The City Mayor, through the City Human Resource Management Office, in coordination with the City Budget Office, submitted a request for the creation of 33 plantilla items for the year 2021. These items are intended to augment the present number of the city government employees in relation to the important priority programs, projects, and activities being proposed in the 2021 annual budget, identified as follows. Letter A, establishment of city hospital. Letter B, improvement of basic health services. Implementation of the Lukwag Agrikultura program. Operation of the bulk water sales in the Borongan Water District. Development of pre-selling of lots in the Borongan Memorial Park, implementation of various infrastructure projects. All the items to be created as supposed to be funded are supposed to be funded from the available personal services fund in the city government, except for the item of daycare worker, in which will be funded by deleting the person with disability affairs officer, or PDAO, salary grade 6. An item which is not listed in the allowed items to be created as per Index of Occupational Services, position titles and salary grades, or ISO. However, the CHRMO and the City Budget Office failed to consider that the Sangguniang Panlungsod has previously created in December 2021 the permanent plantilla item of the local legislative staff officer 5, at the office of the city vice mayor, which the city mayor has already approved. Hence, the need to adjust the number of items or the sourcing of funding. Number 3, to help the members of this committee to make the relevant recommendation to the August body, the various department heads were required to submit their updated organizational charts and to present their justification regarding the positions being proposed for creation. Issues and concerns. Some were not able to submit their updated organizational chart on time. The updated organizational chart should have shown the envisioned structural and operational mechanism that would effectively and efficiently accomplish quality delivery of services to our constituents. The City Health Office, for example, failed to provide the committee with an organizational chart that would justify the need for the creation of additional medical personnel and perhaps the establishment of the city hospital. However, no issues were raised regarding the items to be created under the CHO. Most of the items that have been presented together with the updated organizational charts have been shown to be essential in relation to the purposes stated in letter A, number 1, or with regards to their office mandates as stated in the Local Government Code and the Charter of the City of Borongan. However, some items seem to be duplicative or other responsibilities falling under other offices with the city government structure. One such is the position of Senior Records Management Analyst, SG18, Office of the City Mayor, the main function of which is to take care of records management, which is a mandate of the City General Services Office, and even the Sangguniang Panlungsod Secretary. In addition, the CGSO is also proposing the creation of an item, Supply Officer 3, which main function is about records management. The need for the clear demarcation in the duties and functions of these items need to be clarified in order to avoid overlapping or confusion of responsibility in the responsibilities. Another item of contentment is the Special Operations Officer 3, salary grade 18, under the Office of the City Administrator. The issues raised regarding the item are as follows. If the item is created as a permanent position, there might be a time that a new city mayor or the city administrator may not have trust and confidence in the person holding the position, and he or she might be reassigned other office or department. Hence, the purpose of creating the item will be rendered useless. Let us remember that the city mayor may reassign employees from one station to another within the rules approved by law and civil service issuances. On the other hand, if the items is created as a coterminous position, we will be violating the civil service rules of the prohibition for non-career employees supervising career employees, except for coterminous positions that by law are allowed to supervise career employees such as the city administrator, the city legal officer, and the city information officer. Number 8, regarding one of the two senior agriculturists, salary grade 18, items under the office of the city agriculturist, it was decided to be deleted to provide funding for the LLSO 5 of office of the city vice mayor. However, Mr. Macario Gabornes, our city agriculturist, requested to delete two vacant agricultural technologist 1, salary grade 10. Items will be able to provide funds for the senior agriculturist position. He justified the decision by saying that it will be an incentive for those occupying lower positions to perform excellently, for they will have the opportunity to be promoted to higher positions, unlike in the present setup when almost all occupy the same salary grade and a big gap exists between them and the positions of assistant city agriculturist. Daycare worker 1, salary grade 6. This is a substitute position for the person with disability affairs officer position, which will be deleted since the item is not included in the ISO. The position of the daycare worker was chosen since it has a comparable salary grade with the position to be deleted. This letter B, Disability Affairs Assistant 1, salary grade 8, funds will be taken from the available Personal Services Fund. However, the city government has an existing ordinance City Ordinance 144 approved in 2018, which already provides for the creation of the item. Number 10, for the items under the Business Permit and Licensing Office, the proposed are 2 licensing officer 2, which are necessary for the sustainability of the programs of the BPLO, since as of now, most of the personnel of the office are only designates. This means that when changes in administration take place, such designations are also affected. With regards to the City Engineering Office and the City General Service Office, most of the issues were raised by Honorable Engineer Arago, especially regarding the technical aspects in relation to engineering works and responsibilities. However, the issues that have been raised are beyond the need to create the positions, and they will be discussed under recommendations. Recommendations, the committee therefore would like to recommend the following. Letter A, to solve the deadlock of the position of Special Operation Officers 3 under the Office of the Administrator, let the organizational structure include an organizational position corresponding to that which is contemplated by the proposed item, but with no corresponding plantilla item. Let it be the position that the city mayor will be able to designate a career employee to handle its responsibilities for the duration of the city mayor's trust and confidence on that career employee. Letter B, regarding the Disability Affairs Assistant 1, SG8, this item together with other items has already been created through the City Ordinance 144, establishing the Persons with Disability Affairs Office. Only the provision of funds has not been made. Hence, there is no need for the creation of the item, but only the provision of funds in the 2021 annual budget in compliance with the City Ordinance 144. Letter C. There is a need to clarify the duties and functions of the Senior Records Management Analyst, SG-18, at the Office of the City Mayor, and the Supply Officer 3, Salary Grade 18, under CGSO, as they share the same major responsibility, records management. As per Local Government Code and the Charter of the City of Borongan, the responsibilities of records keeping are lodged with the City General Services Office and even the SP Secretariat. To free up some space in the salary cap, it is recommended that the items Assistant City Health Officer, Assistant City Government Department Head be deleted already, since the position is awkward because it is only salary grade 23, while the positions of Rural Health Physician, which is salary grade 24. In the aspect of supervision, it would be inconsistent for the salary grade 23 to oversee a salary grade 24. Letter E, the issues that have been raised are very relevant to the decision whether to approve the creation of the items relevant to the concerned offices. However, this committee believes that a more comprehensive review of the local government code with regards to the mandated responsibilities not only of the CEO and the CGSO, but also of other city government offices has to be discussed, and a general updating or overhauling of the government structure should be conducted, so that we can come up with a more relevant and efficient organizational and operational structure. Hence, to clarify the issues that have been raised, the committee recommends that a comprehensive updating of the organization, structures, operations, duties, and responsibilities, and related matters to be conducted, so that we could come up with an administrative code that would refine the city government's organization and operations to achieve a more effective, efficient, and timely delivery of public service without possible duplication or overlooking of responsibilities. With that, Honorable Presiding Officer, I submit my committee report for the consideration of the body.
Okay, so what's the pleasure of the august body? Any comments, suggestion, question regarding the committee report? All right.
Honorable Presiding Officer.
Yes, go ahead, Honorable Cainday.
I would just like to commend our chairman of the Committee on Personnel for the very substantive report, detailed report, and I agree with the recommendations. I think we should be more careful in our creation of positions kay base dili kita nagduduplicate natin mga responsibilities, and I also agree that we need to parang have more time to deliberate on the matter. So I agree with the recommendation of our chairman, Honorable Katrina Anacta Sadac.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any more comments? All right now. So the Honorable Anacta Sadac. Can you move?
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move that the proposed ordinance on creation of items under the city mayor be included for second reading next session.
Okay, in a second.
Second the motion.
Seconded.
Objections? None. So the motion is approved. So just to clarify for next session, right, Honorable Anacta Sadac.
Yes, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Sige. So thank you, Honorable Sadac. Next item, Mr. Secretary.
Proceed.
Sige.
For second reading, we have an ordinance amending ordinance number 6, the unobligated balance for the purchase of kayak.
Honorable Cainday. Yes, I was asking kanina, kindly enlighten us on what was the amendments.
Honorable Presiding Officer, actually, this was requested by our OIC department headed at tourism. They have been requesting for this realignment since last year, December last year, but we were able to grant this appropriation ordinance for our Kayak Kamada Resort. But as of this month, she found out that the items requested were actually amended so that their purchase request may have their purchase request may have an issue kung dirita kung tahiyaan o baluan at an appropriation ordinance. So the original appropriation indicated that we are buying 8 units of one-seater kayak with accessories. Yan na, the same laghapin here. And then we are purchasing 9 units of two-seater kayak. Before, it was 9 units. Yan na, 8 units na here. And then we are purchasing originally 5 units of three-seater kayak with accessories. Pero yan na, 4 units na lang here. Instead of di bagin bawasan taan duduha, now we are purchasing 2 additional units of stand-up paddleboard with accessories. And we are purchasing 10 units of floater or buoy. So, asya niya naging amendment items nga purchase for Kayak Kamada Resort. And at the same lagi we will still be purchasing the jet ski, 1 unit, and we will still improve and repair Kayak River Resort, Kayak Riverside Resort. So that is the amendment, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Okay.
The same amount.
Same amount. Yeah. Okay. So any more questions from the other members? Sangguniang, comments, suggestion before we approve? All right. So, Madam Floor Leader.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move for the approval in second reading the amendment to appropriation ordinance number 6 for the purchase of water sports accessories and equipment.
Any second?
Second.
Any objection? Any motion? None. So the amendments to the proposed appropriation ordinance is hereby approved on second reading. So, Madam Floor Leader. Go ahead.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I also move that we include for our on ordinances for third reading this amendment of the appropriation number 6.
In a second. Second. Any objections? None. So the motion is approved. So next item, Mr. Secretary.
For third reading, we have an ordinance amending ordinance number 6, the unobligated balance for the purchase of water sports accessories and other equipment. For third reading, Mr. Chairman, and we now move on to other matters. We have number 1, request of SPM Anacta Sadac to invite representatives of bids and awards committee, BAC technical working group, city pharmacist, and the city health officer to present updates regarding the status of the procurement of medicines under the free medicines program.
So the Honorable Anacta Sadac You have the floor.
Since they don't have any representative, what's the pleasure of the body?
So since there are no representatives from our Bids and Award Committee, the WG City Pharmacist, we will lay this first on the table, and we will just take it up on our next session. Okay, so next item, Mr. Secretary.
Call engineering department regarding the canal drainage cover in the city.
Honorable Presiding Officer.
Yes, Madam Floor Leader.
Honorable Presiding Officer, this was my request to call the engineering department to give us some clarifications regarding important infrastructures of our city. I therefore move that we temporarily suspend our internal rules of procedure so that we can ask our city engineering office some questions.
Seconded.
Any objections? None. So the internal rules hereby temporarily suspended. So we have here Engineer Lucito Afable. Okay. Go ahead, Honorable Cainday.
Honorable Presiding Officer, now I have a question. Can Honorable Engineer Afable, kay Engineer ito, no, parang lately parang we've had an incident, minor lahiya, because ang ginagamit was a car. So napansin naman no, there are some drainages in the city na wala niya cover. So may da niya luho. And that it tendency auto nga ni or motorcycle or tricycle na aging nga ni dito nahiluho. Makuri hiya matanggal depende kung gaano kada kanim sa rakyan. And kung mahiluho pa nga ni iton mga motor, malamang aksidente hiya nga major. So ano aton status at aton mga drainage covers, and what are we doing to solve this problem?
Kindly unmute Engineer Afable. Mute ka, Engineer Lucito.
Hello,
Yan,
Sir Conference Road from Sonco to Barangay H. Dito may merkado na ini. Ito mga drainage cover. Kaya kaya pa ito na mga pondo. Pag-repair anay kita ang mga drainage cover ng diklag ng mga nagkakasasaot na. Halaba ini tikan niya Sonco magtayin na kuan. Ito may kampisaw, ito may merkado. Our budget for this repair is 550,000 only pag-repair na yung mga drainage cover. Delikado na yun, totoo. And reading public, delikado na. Dami yung mga ibang mga public.
The incident happened in Sabang South, near the Honorable Daza Balay. So I observed na may dito talaga mga iba-iba hiya pa usa-usala pagud nga wala cover, and I heard from Honorable Katrina Anacta ano nga pati barangay di may dadaman.
Yes.
So if the budget is not yet enough, we should do something at least na mamarkahan tahiya.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Parang cross this area or something kamay da niya dida. Very dangerous in here.
Ma'am, along National Highway ini Sabang, kanan Millennium ini project ang una, may da ni magpausa-usa nga sa more pack makakadila. Bisa na ay amon na yung mga tao kay may da ako nakita da may tinahulog na to, babalik na namon ito may babalik na namon ito. Kay madigum pa may itong takapit nga kanan Millennium drainage. Kasi itong isisiring niyo sa Sabang South along National Highway.
Did I hit my PWD? Hit my Borongan Water District. But at a point, I did not see any cover na natanggal or basta wala na hero at all cover. So kung tahiya na matataganhin permanente nga solusyon nga pagbutanghin kana in semento nga cover, sana may mala dida marker nga may dida guho. So ayaw ko dida pagbaktas lalo nangin kasi nahinabuan incident gabi so di talaga kinikita. So dapat may dito marker or libuta ta din niha city nga kung paano may da marker hit aton mga luho hit aton drainage.
Okay, noted Honorable Chair. Okay,
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
may I interrupt? Itun ba kagawad Cainday nga imo
Honorable Arago.
that belongs to the highway canal or nga kanal sinisiring ni kagawad Cainday, is that along the highway or along the municipal road?
Honorable Cainday.
Honorable Arago, I think it's
Yes.
I am not sure kung paano siya kina-classify ano. Basta it's dagat highway ta. But I don't know kung ano tihit pag-classify it. But my point is whether it is in a municipal highway or a DPWH, I think since it is within our jurisdiction, kailangan may tahimuon to at least notify the people who are walking, jogging, or passing through that area nga may guho.
Right, yes. But if it belongs to the highway, the city engineer should to the highway. Ira iton pag-upay. They have the maintenance. If it belongs sa iton city government, nasa yung akin kung city government, because along the crossing there, di ba, tikan iton city government, iton highway, going to Sabang, dilihat kanto iton dasa residence, may dida halaram nga kanal, halaram nga nabilong nga iton city government. Bangin asa iton iyo sinisiring. So, kanan city government talaga itong pag-cover. Kaya kinikita ko ito, kaya ang sure bakit lumabay, nali ko akida ito from the highway going to Greenland, nali ko akida ito sa residence. May dida, kung bali ko ka left side, halarum, kanal. Buti ay na, pero halarum, very dangerous talaga. Kinanglan pag nanoon itong city government. Pero kung itong highway, kanang millennium, kailangan pag nanoon liwat, but it should be reported to the DPWH. Kaya hirap talaga ma-maintain ito. May da manira maintenance ko. In fact, kinikita ko ang mga nira maglinis at mga kanal din na Sonco. Should be reported to the DPWH. In the case ito na kanal, na along na ito, kung bali ko kana dito itong Daza Residence, Sabang, atin ito. I recommend to the city engineer kay maghimumag itong kalsada ngadto nga niha kalingat ngan, diretso nga kalingat ngan, there is a funding for that road, for that construction of the new road from the crossing of Sabang Road ngadto parte na kalingat ngan. Pwede itong nila itong kanal nga delikado. Pwede na. I think there is a 10 million appropriation there. Napapanginanuan itong nga portion. Nga diri la, sigunpahan sinisiring kunta nga, diri la dida nga portion, panginanuon, inspeksyon, nga tanan ng mga kanal, nga nagkakahibang itong cover, iupod itong aton maintenance funding. Damo ini, kay practically, itong mga kanal nga nahihibang cover, diri it cover nga nit hibang. It is the base. Kaya ang mga kanal hadto, hollow blocks la, ang hindi mo. Magrapok ba, magdigon. So, hihibang ang hollow blocks nga kanal, na upudaan cover. Amo ito niya na-expose. I-cover, nahuhulog, darahan, ang kadumog na hollow blocks nga sidings. Pero as of now, I think di rin naghihimon ka na in hollow blocks canal itong city government. Hindi mo na nira nga concrete canal with concrete cover. Buhos na. May da talaga mga hibang mga kanal. Darahit kahibang itong sides. Itong kanal nga kay hollow blocks lang. There are several locations nga dapat panganoon itong city government. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. That is a suggestion and observation of the Honorable Melcho Arago. Anyway, Honorable Cainday, we're done.
Honorable Presiding Officer, but my point is, kung bisan man hinuit nga person nga responsibility kundi nga nga lugar, it's still within the jurisdiction of Borongan. So kung diri pa kasi bangan niya na kasi himuon since kanan highway hiya, say mo ring nagsumat na, pira ka days it or pira ka months na damit nila nga mabuyang yang light hiya nga wala niya cover, it might cause a lot of accident, it might cost us a lot of lives. So as responsible department at mga infrastructure, I hope our city engineer will look into our drainages, kaya ada namit here na may namit talaga the issue, and do something even temporarily kung takay diri man natin jurisdiction it pag-upay, but still within the jurisdiction of Borongan, do something to indicate nga may didaguho para maiwasan tanit ano ito nga mga accidents nga lalo nang gabi kay di talaga ya kinikita nga guho. That's all, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Okay,
Honorable Kenneth.
may recognize.
Yes, go ahead, Honorable Engineer Lucito Fabli.
Okay, we will conduct ocular inspection today. Atong mga among mga technical pagkakanto ko niya na pag inspection. That's all.
Thank you.
We have
Mr. Chair.
Honorable
Yes,
Anacta. Honorable Arago.
kay diri man ito under pagtrabaho wa iyo.
Yes, go ahead, Honorable Anacta.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The same also iton amang situation diri sa Barangay B. Broken iton mga takop, specifically Limbauan Street. Tapos iton iton canals may mga nagpaka-block. So nagkukosiyahin flooding pag especially yan ang mga rainy season. So engineer please sana mapagdaman naman yung masolusyonan. Thank you.
Let me continue ulit a short
Sige, go ahead.
Sir Chair. Sharing ko pa, I heard the city engineer nga mag-inspection sa Largo. I agree with Kagawad Cainday, trabaho on Largo, but the job is not ours. Kung by you, specified ito niyo inspection report, gave it at once to the DPWH kung era section ito, kanan highway. Kung atin section, try to fix it with atin kwarta. Atin kwarta.
Yes, that is
madali yan. Report it immediately to DPWH kung along the highway. Then kung atin opay, charge it to the maintenance of our municipal roads.
Yes, that's a good suggestion, Honorable Arago. Go ahead, Honorable Cainday.
I heard Honorable Arago, but I don't want to give this nadiri contact net engineering ipumasala ha DPWH. Yes, pagpasa nga to DPWH, but do something temporarily to MOE to place there nga sign nga may di guho nga di pa nahihimot DPWH kay it is causing a lot of accidents. Bisan niya na nga kuan, bisan kunta diri aton, we cannot just wash our hands nga diri aton hiya dida because it's within our jurisdiction. So if not the engineering department, at least aton mga barangay officials kung diin nga may nira mga go it era drainages kas delikado yun hiya ipasa ta DPWH, sige pagpasa, but do not wait for them and wash our hands nga di kita maaram. So let's do something about it even temporarily. Kung magbubutang kayo tarpaulin, kung magbubutang kayo dahil something nga kinikitang hitkabing ng mga reflector to show them nga guhiya. That's my point, Honorable Presiding Officer. I recognize that it may not be part of the job of the city, but let us not wash our hands and say nga di kita maaram ito nga problema. So let's do something about it even temporarily.
Yes, okay. I believe what ato na city engineering pinapakita at na slideshow.
Mr. President, may I?
Yes, go ahead, Honorable Escoto.
Kare-kare pa kaya na kanin General Lucid. Ito nakita ko screen kasi nga may daniyo repair hiton Songco ngayon circumferential load canal from Songco to Campi South to Barangay H amounting 550,000. Ano ini nga kuan puro line tako. Kasi sharing ni mga Melcho kanina
huling
nga it goes down ito kasi itong kahibang itakop dati pa nga mga drainage labi na dida barangay 8 dani ang mga mahalo blocks petanuna bangin man la katakpila hibang itong drainage diri na ma-function ni maupay aw dala kun iyot na inspection pati ang drainage kun function kuan maupay kay tatakpan niyon worth 550,000 bangin oni na katakpi baradong engineer.
Okay,
Vice.
Ukuran inspection ni.
Nababati. Hello?
Hello?
Sige, Honorable.
Sige, okay, proceed.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, go ahead.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, nabati kami.
Hello?
Nabati kami.
Ay, kakawara-wara kasi agdidias. Kita mga problema. Why is it akong recommendation ko lang ito. There should be a proper coordination the barangay and the DP.
Puputol-putol Honorable Suyot. Anyway, sige, tagitala na yung chance ato na engineering office kita siya din nga slides.
Mr. Officer, may kupakian pa. Pakian na lang. Anakan lang ni pakian.
Okay, go ahead, Honorable Escoto. Sorry, ang kasikot nga tapos na mo comments. Sige.
Kita ko na may dahan screen nga 550,000 repair of drainage. Pero wala kami sharing nga cover la. Ang cover di ng kanal from Sonco to circumferential road to Barangay Kapisaw to Barangay. Wala ba iton? 550,000 la ito niyo amount. So nabugit-sharing ko kanina ang kanin generosit ng mga cover laan iton ka itera repair. So
Uling lag tinlag hibangan di recommendation tapos itwol na hibang and then di kanang cover.
Kasi halaba ini 550,000 la.
Yes, selected portion lang, yung mga sira lang. Pero wala pa tayong pera ngayon eh.
Selected portion o kung iyogin kung functional pa ito ng mga
halabay na siring pa. Halabay ni ngadto kakuan na pikang ini nga sungko madto merkado.
Ba in general sit pwede kuan ba pag-repair nga tanan diri la takop kasi bangin oni na panakop niyo may dangen hibang ditohan ang sulod diri na function iton mao pa iton drainage iton flow tubig bangin diri na mao pa pag kuan nga nakakabaha lagi haps useless.
Okay, noted. Pwede ni ko anita kanal uling tapos diklag itong pag-recommendation nitong kanal nakakabara dida and then did cover.
Okay, nakita kasi di ibang mga construction rehab itong drainage na by na kuang tag 2.5 million. Ini ka 550 di bang akin la banging gote ini nga kuan.
Ay wala itong
amount
decision ni ako na temporary repair for the meantime kasi
nagbudget budget kasi kami construction rehab ay ito nakita ko construction rehab of drainage canal along circumferential road Sonco to Balod 2.5 million samantala di dihan repair ang kanal ng circumferential road Sonco Campisaw Barangay it's 550,000 lang. Parang irikute ini nga amount maging maupay ba iton
hindi nga ito na repair hindi nga ito na Sonco to Campisaw circumferential road selected portion na ini kay ini nga atong drainage for itang mga recommendation for removal na ini halo blocks kay dumugpa na gihalabain nga little tin sharing mo pa din masak ko nga 550. It will siguro tatanggap estimate mga around 20 million ini nagto. Kung i-remove ta nga tanan ngadto tikan ni sumpo ngadto kuan pampisaw ngadto merkado public market. Ini po di meantime wala ta pa pundo asya kay delikado ang trading public wala mga takop mga hibang na para ma-recondition nga aw at tamanan ta na ini tamanan samtang wala ita pa di-repeat at pundo sufficiente.
Okay, sige. I guess ita pakiana lang ni Honorable Escoto, sakto ba ini nga maging maupay ka repair 550,000?
Resyohan. Resyohan naman.
Okay. So, any more question? Honorable Escoto.
Point of order, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Okay. Sige. Sige, continue.
Point of order, Honorable Presiding Officer.
What is your point of order, Honorable Cainday?
I would just like to remind our resource speakers and even our honorable, my fellow members of the Sangguniang Panlungsod to please mute themselves if you're not yet being recognized, and wait for our presiding officer to recognize you first before you speak. I think the session has become very confusing already. Everyone is speaking at the same time. So it bears stressing that you need to be recognized first by our presiding officer before you speak up. Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Yes, that is a good point, Honorable Cainday. Thank you very much for that reminder, guys. Nag-udong-udong naman internet din so iyak na bati. Sige. So, Honorable Escoto, are you done with the Honorable Escoto? At na-disconnect siguro. We have Honorable Melcho Arago. You were raising your hand.
Yes, in continuation to our inquiry, the city engineer, I heard him saying temporary repair la ito na ibubuhatin kay nanginginanglan ng data na pondo. I think there should be no temporary repair. It should be a permanent repair. Bisan maguti itong pondo. Gamitin para maupay na nga pag-repair. If the proposed construction nila itong na hollow blocks canal, di na ma-eksakto, itong na portion lang na nagkakahulog, ito na era pag-repairin, pero pag-repair, di rin na hollow blocks, di rin na cover. Pag-era pag-himo itong kinabagong nga kanal. All of concrete construction na. Buhos na itong tagliligid, buhos na itong flooring, buhos na itong cover. That should be the meaning of temporary repair. Diri nga madali ala itong cover na i-repairin, even looking at the bottom nga hollow blocks pa dyan to madudumog na. In fact, dumog na nga ni. Re-repair nila na mitbabaw. It should not be the case. Kinanglan repairin na ito hilarum. Bisa na like mahipot itabutan itong kwarta. Basta ma-repair na. Sabi na itong sasabi ni kagawad Cainday, kagawad Sadac, na nagkakaabrihan, nagkakahulog na. Should be permanent repair. Na tisurunod kung maka-funding na naman, extension itong na repair. Dere nakang karang sige pasabot ton city engineering office nga dere laton cover pag-repair. Kung bumagsak na itong cover nga kitain nga it hollow block nagtitikang pagbagsak tanggalin na nga hollow blocks including the sidings nga ito ngani flooring pangipis and kasiminto. In lieu of that, ito na irabang kung design iti value para permanent na susumpay na la itiraround kung magayap kamay ta. Kasi kung temporary repair la, I don't think it will last a year or so. Kasi lagi mabagsak dara kay maluya ito ng mga adihay na room. Kasi ito na akin kariyak, ipaabot here. Kaya wala pa magkwarta nga iluubos. Itong portion la na nga ibang delikado good. Delikado good. Payan na lang pag-repair. Adaan. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Good point. That is a good point. Okay. So, Mr. Honorable Afable, Honorable Engineer Afable, can you take
Okay,
note of the
okay, itatong pag-repair, itatong flooring and walling, permanent structure na, buhos na, nga portion nga ibang.
Yeah.
Preparation na, pag-removal, itong bugos na kuan, grenades. Itatong pag-repair. Tama. Correct ito ng Honorable Arago. Okay, thank you. I noted.
Okay, that's good. Anyway, ading nga Honorable Escoto na reconnect na. Honorable Escoto, tapos ka na kanina mo comment, suggestion, question dato na engineering office.
Tapos na ano Melcho dapat ang kasagutan nito.
Okay. Sige. So Engineer Afable, ating engineering office ka kindly take note of the suggestions, comments, and mga observations at na members of the Sanggunian. Labi naging suggest tayo ni Honorable Cainday, Honorable Arago, may Honorable Escoto, may Honorable Anacta. Panginano ka tayo aton mga structures din nila nga aton na mga drainage kung tingnan na nga structures kay under EO office. Please take note, Engineer Afable.
Okay.
And
one short inquiry first.
Go ahead.
Additional inquiry, Mr. Chair. I just want to inquire. Itong baru itong atin city yan yung set up ito na atin yan na slaughterhouse. Kaya nung delayed diri pa di pa nakaka-operate. Hadtohan pagtawagan natin kay Dr. Ang nasa September, October, March. Ano gud gayud? Itakan hibaro under I don't know ngani sana kanina kinadaan taga-pibak kay mga equipment pakunuan kinahanglan. I don't know kung pinasana ini pibak and ginbid na ang mga equipment kinahanglan i-install dito kay one time I went over to the slaughterhouse. May daging ibang ginguho inaharom ababutangan daw ng equipment. Ano daw lat status ini kung mag-iha pa o ano? Para gamitan ito nagiging statue itong ating slaughterhouse for several years already nga diri nagagamit. And mind you, gidadako iton pakabulig hiton kung makaka-transfer na ngadto iton aton baga income kay ma-increase iton aton income is slaughterhouse kung maka-transfer na ngadto. Sana kunta paniguruan ganito pag-transfer na yan.
Yes.
Ano status na wala in general public?
Okay, status ini pa nila nga slaughterhouse ada nag-install daan mga equipment hining aton bagong kuan moderno na answering moderno ada nag-install na nila. I have no expertise on that nga may mga roller ang dagang bubutang. Ada ang gina-install nila yan na ongoing project na. May da nila ginoo dida nga portion asya anticipate ano na pero buti light is minimal trabaho.
Yeah, although I know Mr. Chair, although I know may inabot ng mga equipment partially, so partial pala, di ba, engineer Roset, engineer public, partial pala tada nga inabot mga tubo or what. Ang ibang mga importante waray pakuno. I don't know what happened kung lina bay na ini happy back ni award na. Kay ipirsige natin nga i-deliver na kung nag-agi na happy back. Kaya no partial delivery. Ipapacheck yan na GSO partial daw. Lirik nagiging
order on officer.
Yes, what is your point of order, Honorable Cainday?
Since the status of the construction of our slaughterhouse is not in our agenda and we need additional resource speakers, can we discuss this in our next session and formally ask the proper or the relevant spokesperson to be part of the session para mas klarado kita, because yan na, even if Honorable Arago will keep on asking Engineer Lucet, he might not be able to answer correctly and in full since he was not apprised of this agenda. Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Oh, that's a good point. Sige. So, invite na lang next session at ating mga resource person. Kindly, Honorable Arago.
Yeah, so that's it. Okay. Waray man ulpot ang taga-pibak. Supposedly, ada pa abrihe. Niyan, yan na, I just want to have the opportunity gada in general. So, make the point, yung may agenda, including the agenda for next session, iton, status ito natin, slaughterhouse, na unacquiring an equipment, kaya ano nga diri pa natutukay nga dahil na almost a year na nga pag requisition in mga kuhan. So please include it next session to be included to be in continuation ito nga ni kagawad Sadac Pibak ay makadaman next session. An inquiry for that matter. Okay, thank you.
So Mr. Secretary, please take note of the request of Honorable Arago. May include in ito na next session. Okay, so Engineer Afable, wala naman pakianit natin ibang members. So hopefully makanahibaro kang may adat na mga problema din ito na mga kakanalan, ito mga kalsada, nasa rin ka man magpapalibot kahit imong mga tao. So yeah, paki-continue na lang atin pag-supervise atin mga infrastructure din atin city. And also, I would also encourage atin mga mulupyo din na Borongan, kaya to be fair atin na engineering office, medyo kulang mga ganihirahin tao. Mas maupay siguro kung atin mga mulupyo gihap, kaya kung may nira kinikita, dapat i-repair, i-report na lang naman ganyan engineering office or kung naman nga mga kinauukulan nga tao, yung kapitan or nga diha mga konsihal, vice mayor, nga tukan mayor, kung may niyo access, para ma-report na dito atin engineering office yung actionan para matuhay atin mga infrastructure din sa Borongan. So, Engineer Afable, thank you very much sa imo time. Maupay yung trabaho yan para atin syudad. So, to be fair.
Okay, thank you.
Sige, thank you very much, Engineer Afable.
Engineer.
Okay.
So, next item, Mr. Secretary. Mr. Secretary. Anyway, nagkamayada na naman siguro problem natin na secretariat. Anyway, the next item is po naman lang. Announcement. Okay, so any announcement? Alright, announcement. Alright, so next item, Mr. Secretary.
Adjournment.
So adjournment. Madam Floor Leader.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move for the adjournment of our 75th regular session.
Any second?
Seconded.
Any objections? None. So our 75th regular session is now adjourned. Thank you. And maupay nga agang mga
With the truth that truly sets us free, with the light that leads the blind to see, voice of the word, voice for the good, voice of the whole, voice of